You're listening to the Infinite Banking Mastery Podcast. Did you know that you could build a tax-free pool of wealth that's liquid and accessible all your life while building your retirement nest egg? Gain full control of your financial future and stop relying on the government and banks. The wealthy have already discovered this wealth-building secret. Now it's your turn to get financially secure without following the conventional wisdom that keeps you in debt to banks. Now here's your host, Valerie LaRocque.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Infinite Banking Mastery Podcast. Hope you had a great week. What's the opportunity cost of not financing through your banking system? I'm sure some of you might be asking, what does opportunity cost even mean? Well, that is what I will be explaining through today. The magical thing about the infinite banking concept, well, I guess I should say one of the magical things, is that you have access to your cash all of your life without penalty and can access your money without tax, all while this account, your cash value, continues to grow. I mean, how can anything beat that? How is that not super magical? So while you are saving as much as you can, which is much easier now because you have access to all of these funds all your life at any time, unlike if you're saving into a retirement type vehicle where you do not have access to those funds at any time, they are locked up unless you don't mind incurring a 10% penalty. Then again, even when you have the freedom to touch those funds, you again are penalized in your 70s if you do not take out the amount required. So without all that, you're able to save as much as you can into your whole life banking system, then use or access the funds when needed to put back into your business, to invest in something that you are passionate about, such as real estate, to purchase your next vehicle or your next vacation home, or just to fund your next vacation, or to pay off debt to outside banks. While all this is going on, the amazing thing is that you are not losing out on the opportunity cost of what those funds that you're spending could otherwise be doing. Because usually you have to choose, put the funds towards your business or the investment that you are excited about or that major purchase that's really needed, while missing out on what those dollars could have earned. Because in any other savings vehicle, you cannot do both. In any other vehicle, your funds are not going to keep growing on a guaranteed basis without any sort of risk of a capital call. Normally, the opportunity cost of accessing your cash to pay for something you need, want, or desire to invest in is losing out on what those dollars could have earned had you not made that purchase. With the infinite banking concept, you don't have to lose out. You can do both. So just to clarify the definition of the opportunity cost, what that actually means, it means the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. Put differently, opportunity cost represents the potential benefits that you miss out on when choosing one alternative over another. So the opportunities foregone when choosing one expenditure over another. What you're missing out on when you spend money on whatever you're choosing to spend it on. So for example, if you were to choose to purchase a car for, say, $500 or $1,000 a month, what are you missing out on that you could have used the money for? And if your alternative was to invest the money, then what are you missing out on in the long run? I can tell you, it's a lot. If you have a $500 or $1,000 a month car payment for 5 years, just think of what that amount could have grown to and over the years till you reach your retirement years, however many years that is to your retirement age. Just think of how much money you could have earned had you put that money in something else to be growing that entire time frame. Well, I'm going to give you an idea. At age 40, if you finance a car for 5 years, paying $1,000 a month, losing out on the opportunity cost to grow that money at, say, 4%, by the time you are 75 years old, you would have lost out on over $210,000. That is your opportunity cost. And I'm sure all of you can agree that it would be fabulous to have an extra couple $100,000 in cash that you would be able to access in your retirement years once you're no longer working. Now, had you purchased that car through your infinite banking system, your whole life policy, you would have retained the earning power of those dollars, and they would have been able to grow to that large amount for you to use later. And the awesome thing is, you were able to use them when you needed them, when you wanted to purchase that car, without penalty, without restriction, without a credit check. In this example, maybe at the time that you are making your car purchase, maybe you have enough funds in your cash value account to pull all the funds needed to pay the car in cash, which will probably give you an added discount. You can probably negotiate that car down some more if you're paying in cash. So maybe you have that amount available to be able to just go to the dealership and plop down that cash and pay it in full. Or maybe your banking system is newer and you haven't funded it high enough to be able to borrow all the funds needed to purchase the car fully in cash. Maybe instead you access a portion of the available funds to put down on the car and then finance the rest of the car with the car company or whatever financing company you want, and then continue funding your policy. And over time, you would be able to pay off the car to the finance company, whatever company you selected, and then take over that payment inside of your policy. So that is certainly an option as well. And then once you do that, once you take over that loan and pay off the car loan completely, you would then be able to move that car payment that you were making to an outside bank, move it to bank of yourself, move it over to your banking system and start replenishing your banking system with the car payment that you were making to some other bank. There is definitely more than one way to do something like this. And when it's your turn, when you are the one wanting to finance something and use your banking system, we just build around and create a plan that makes the most sense for you. And of course, this is just one example. It works the same for any dollars that you choose not to run through your system and for any reason. That's why I choose to fund my policies as high as I can and run as much of my money through my systems as possible through my policies so that I can capture the earning power of as many dollars as I possibly can and then turn around and use it for things that I would need to use it for anyhow. My taxes, private school. I know I've mentioned a lot of things before, home remodel. I'd rather capture the earning power of those dollars and not let it slip through my fingers. And then in the long run, turn around and realize, oh my gosh, I lost $200,000, $500,000 on what those dollars could have earned me for a lifetime. And again, if I didn't have access to all those dollars I'm putting in for all these needs that I have right now today, then I wouldn't be able to save as high because I wouldn't have access to it, which is how we usually see saving for our retirement years. We're putting money away that's untouchable, that we don't want to touch, but also we kind of restricts us sometimes from how much we can save into our future because we need dollars today too. We need to accomplish all sorts of things and we have all sorts of plans and desires. And so it's hard to save enough for your future when you need funds today too. And that's what's so awesome about the infinite banking system and infinite banking concept is because you can use those dollars for two things. You can hit both of those goals and it allows you to save so much more. And then saving more helps me too, because now I'm growing this larger pool of cash that allows me to be able to finance larger and larger things or more things. And so long as I'm just paying myself back like I would any other loan, or even if I was just saving this money and paying it in cash, I still have the action of saving away that money. So as long as I continue to do that action and just replenish my policies, it ends up being a huge win. And that money that would go out for things here and there gets captured and it's able to earn for the rest of my life, rather than realizing, oh, I lost $200,000 from not purchasing that car through my system, or I lost another chunk of money from not running something else through my system. And it ends up really adding up. So as much as you're able to capture in your system, the better. So if you've been debating on starting a banking system for yourself, and this episode helped you to see how much you could be missing out on over your lifetime, and now you're feeling ready to move forward, I would be happy to help you. Please reach out to me at valerie@alphaomegawealth.com. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening. Take care.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.